Aloha class. So I think you can handle 12.3 on your own. 12.4 simple rate of return. We haven't gone over this. I don't think it's going to be a large focus for the exam because it is a simple rate of return. But I do want to help you through this problem. Compute the simple rate of return on the new automated bottling machine. So Ballard Microbrew is considering the purchase of an automated bottling machine for $120,000. So that would be your investment, but there's some other factors in this problem that might make it a little more complicated than just that initial investment. So the machine was replaced an old machine that cost $30,000 per year to operate. The new machine would cost $12,000 per year to operate. The old machine currently is in use could be sold for scrap for $40,000. The new machine would have a useful life of 10 years with no salvage value. So we do need to worry about depreciation for a new machine, so it's over a 10-year life, assuming this is a straight line depreciation. Your initial investment of $120,000 would be offset by scrap value, which is also called salvage value, right? You're scrapping the machine, but somebody else is willing to pay for it, or at least for the parts. And so our initial investment is going to be offset by the scrap value. So the difference between those would be our initial investment, and now we need to find the incremental net operating income. Well, we say that it's either going to produce income, and that's a positive inflow, or it's going to reduce costs, and that'll be a positive inflow. Over here we see that it's going to reduce costs by lowering them to $12,000. So the difference between those would be the cost lowering or the cost saving, but we also need to worry about depreciation. So this machine is depreciated from $120,000 over a 10-year life, right? So yes, we do have the difference between those cost savings, but we also have to take out depreciation, and that will be our annual incremental net operating income with the costs and minus the depreciation. So let's see how that will work out. Again, simple rate of return, annual incremental net operating income, considering operating income, considering depreciation divided by our initial investment. We said our initial investment would be offset by the scrap or the salvage value, right? So we can minus those. So this bottom initial investment will be $80,000, our denominator, right? Incremental operating income, it says $30,000 is what it normally is. Right, so the old equipment, right, so the old equipment, right, new equipment would cost them $12,000, I believe, right, and so we will have cost savings. Let me double check that. 12,000, yep, it is 12,000. So cost savings would be this amount, 18,000, but we do need to consider depreciation. We are depreciating the asset, right, the original purchase price of the asset minus any salvage value divided by the number of years, and that's a typical depreciation formula or method, right? So purchase price, or what you put it on your, pretty much the asset, what you put it on your balance sheet at, and that would include other things, but mainly the historical price of your asset, which would have been $120,000 minus salvage. No salvage values. They said that they would have no salvage value for this new asset divided by the number of years if you're going to do straight line depreciation. So that would have been $120,000 divided by 10 years from the problem. So they do need to worry about this $12,000 depreciation, which is an expense, which would lower their annual incremental net operating income. And so we have $6,000 that will be on the top of this equation and $80,000 on the bottom, right? So our simple rate of return would be the annual incremental net operating income, and I can write that over here, right? We consider the depreciation incremental net, and we can divide that by the $80,000 initial investment that was offset by selling off the old asset. And so it's about a 7.5% simple rate of return.